I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC middleweight fighter Sean Strickland explains why he's the coolest MMA fighter. UFC middleweight contender Sean Strickland believes that he's the coolest MMA fighter in the world and explain why in an Instagram video. Let me tell you guys why I'm the coolest MMA fighter. Say you've got a favorite MMA fighter like Israel Adesanya or anyone else. You know that you can't just go and train with that guy. You can't hit that mother up and be like, hey man, I'm a fan. I want to come spar you, Sean Strickland said. But on the other hand, but me on the other hand, you hit me up and go like, yo, I'm in Vegas. I want to come spar you. I'm like, roll through. I'll give you that work, right? Like, I'll be in San Diego this weekend. I'll give you that work. You've just got to hit me up. That's why I'm the coolest MMA fighter. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so he's basically saying that he's in the streets for the fans. What I think that I can't disagree if he claims he's the coolest MMA fighter, and no one else is claiming to be the coolest MMA fighter in the world. Then that's basically his title, right? I remember a few years ago, I believe it was Justin Gaethje versus Eddie Alvarez, and they had a fight. I don't believe it was for a title, or I don't even think it was a main event. But those two basically said it was a fight for the world's violent most violent man, I believe. I don't know if it was for the world or MMA most violent man or UFC most violent man, but no fighter ever questioned who's the most violent man. No fighter has ever said, and even in any weight class outside of the lightweight division, no fighter has ever said the winner of that fight is not the world's most violent man. I'm the most violent man or UFC most violent man. So Eddie Alvarez ended up winning the fight over Justin Gaethje, and he basically got the title of the world's most violent man or UFC's most violent or MMA most violent man. So I guess with Sean Strickland claiming to be MMA's coolest, or what is he? He's the coolest MMA fighter. Unless someone steps up and challenge him for that, they don't have to fight, but gives an example of why they're cooler than him, he will be known as the MMA's coolest fighter. Now listen, I don't follow Sean Strickland on like social media, and I may not agree with everything he says or does. Obviously, I don't agree with a lot of people and things, but I 1,000% support when MMA fighters go out there and stand on what they say. If I agree with them or disagree with them, there've been many fighters who have talked crazy. I don't want to have given any examples, but I may not agree with what they're saying, right? I may not agree with what they're saying, but I 100% support MMA fighters when they go out there and however promote themselves, whatever that is, right? Whether it's good or bad, if they're saying something crazy, if they're into religion, whatever it is. Even if they, troll all over the internet, if they have Twitter fingers, whatever it is, I'm going to 100% support them. However they want to promote themselves, if they want to talk crazy about other countries. Now, I totally disagree with it, but if that's what they want to do and they want to stand on it, much respect, and I 100% support them. I kind of grew up in an age where before a fight, boxers would talk crazy, right? And that's just them getting into the mindset of a fight. That's them getting into the mindset of selling this fight to the average casual fan. So, Sean Strickland, he's saying that if you are a fan of his and you want to go train with him, I guess, he's down for that. I'm not really into MMA training. I definitely would not want to go and spar Sean Strickland, right? Like that's a bit much. I don't think he would take it easy on you if you were a fan, if you came to spar Sean Strickland. But the invitation's out there from the coolest MMA fighter in the world. Sean Strickland is like, listen, if you are like, hey, I'm in Vegas, he's in Vegas, I want to come spar you, Sean Strickland is like, yo, pull up and I will give you that work. Now, do you think that's a good reason to make him? I'm pretty sure he gave many other explanations of why he's the coolest MMA fighter. Do you agree with Sean Strickland being the coolest MMA fighter in the world, or do you think there's other cooler MMA fighters? I'm gonna say this, like I said, with Justin Gaethje and Eddie Alvarez, when they fought, they promoted that fight as the world's most violent man, or MMA most violent man, or UFC's most violent man, and no one challenged them to that statement. So they had to hold that title, and I would say as of right now, Sean Strickland, I have to agree with him, right? I gotta say it, unless someone else gives it a reason of why they're cooler than him or why they're the coolest, I have to say I totally agree with Sean Strickland that he is currently the coolest MMA fighter in the entire world. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about UFC middleweight fighter Sean Strickland gives an explanation as to why he's the coolest MMA fighter. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.